Yay, more derivatives. Okay, so we have a first times a second. So y prime is first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. First derivative of cosine is negative sine, and then we have the second times the derivative of the first. And sure, there's lots of things you can do to simplify that, but this is all I wanted to see. I don't want to see anything else on your paper to jeopardize your success at getting the answer right. What do we have here? So this one was product rule. And the next one is going to be the chain rule, the guts rule. Cosine of guts. Derivative of cosine is negative sine of guts. And then times the derivative of the guts. There we go. And what about C? That is a quotient rule. Did you notice I started getting smart? I gave all these functions different names so that you could spread out all over the page and not worry about where you put your answer. That was intentional. It takes me a while, but I do learn tricks. Yeah, okay, so the question before you dive in is, does this factor? Because if it does, then I'm setting you up for a practical joke that you might not appreciate. But let me just go ahead and do this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, bottom squared, bottom times in the denominator, and in the numerator you get bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. Do not simplify, just leave it like that. But the question is, does this factor? Well, what's the discriminant? B squared minus 4ac, b squared is 25 minus 4ac, 25 minus 8. No, this isn't going to go into anything nice. Okay, good. But I have given exam questions where that factors, and for example, I could give you something like, let's see, t squared plus 2t plus 1 over t plus 1, and then you're like, you do all this crazy stuff. See, if this is the question, then what you're supposed to do is say, oh, well, this is t plus 1, t minus 1, these cancel, and the derivative's 1. Okay? So I have been known to do that even on exams to see if you're paying attention. And paying attention means if you see something that ought to factor, you should try factoring. You should always try algebraic simplification before you dive into the calculus. Okay, and E is, oh, I'm sorry, Q. We forgot Q. Theta must be the variable, so there we go. Alright, F prime is going to be this quotient rule, bottom times the derivative of the top minus top times the derivative of the bottom. Okay, derivative of the top, sine, cosine, and then top, derivative of the bottom. Just leave it like that. I will be so happy. I don't care. I don't want you to try to simplify it. I just want you to get them right. I want you to demonstrate to me that you know which rules to use when to use the product rule, when to use the quotient rule, when to use the chain rule. I'm not trying to test your algebra at this stage. There will be other times when you need to use your algebra. This isn't one of them, so don't do it. Just leave them. Okay.